This is a battle in Blade Master's unit ban tournament, where it's possible for the players to ban a unit from the opposing player's roster. Should make for some interesting games, like Tylis versus the Boii. Just a sort of a short update on what's happening with the channel and such. Nothing exciting. I just want to inform you that this week I have a lot of work, so I probably won't be able to answer comments or anything like that until Thursday or Friday, but I will go back and answer every single comment one of the days this week. I just can't do it at the moment. I just have the time to upload a battle now, and that's it. So it would of course be smart of me to keep a backlog and not upload like 10 tournament battles in a day, but I want to get them out as fast as possible. I just don't want to upload one game a day and then just keep doing that for a long time. I want to get things out as fast as possible while it's relevant. So in the spirit of that, I'm going to upload this battle. This is the semi-final battle between Llewelin of Agartha and the Armenian King. Two outstanding players. Now, me, the Persian Prince, and Blade Master did cast the games earlier in this tournament together. It was a lot of fun. You'll find them on both Blade Master's channel. I don't know if the Persian Prince has uploaded them. I'm not entirely sure about that. Maybe. Check it out. I'll link to his channel in the description. And you'll find some of them on my channel. So, but it didn't work out during the next battle, so Blade Master has uploaded them to his channel. Go check them out there. I have uploaded them to my channel, and here we go. It's the Boii versus Tylis on Alexandria. And remember how me, Blade Master, and the Persian Prince kept saying that heavy horse, you need to ban heavy horse? Or I don't remember if everyone said that, but at least I think they did. I remember distinctly saying that during each battle, that people ban sword followers, which makes sense. I mean, mid-tier swords are great and all that, but for both Tylis and the Boii, they have viable alternatives. Like Boii with Oathsworn, Axe Warriors and Celtic Warriors is still a very strong matchup, and I would actually much rather face the Boii with Axe Warriors, with the sword followers, Celtic Warriors and Oathsworn, then I would like to face the Boii with heavy horse, Celtic Warriors, Axe Warriors and Oathsworn, because the heavy horse just adds so much mobility, so much tactical flexibility that Tylis can never hope to match, really. They can only bring the raiding horse, and they are usually limited to 3, so that gimps them. Let's just go over the build of Armenian King. For him, the tribals were banned, so he has 4 Oathsworn. He has 2 Gallo-Thracians, 3 Celtic Warriors up front, 4 Thracians on each flank. He has 4 Levy Freemen, and he has 3 raiding horse. Now, in order to get this, Armenian King has to protect his very strong Oathsworn center from cavalry. He has to protect his Celtic Warriors from cavalry, and ideally he has to keep his Levy Freemen away from any Celtic Warrior engagements and use them to protect the rear and the flanks from heavy horse, because Armenian King is probably going to do well in the grind out fight with all of these Thracian Warriors and the Oathsworn and the Celtics and the Gallo-Thracians. The problem is the heavy horse. So we can't really see much of Llewelin's army now, but presumably he's going to be moving up through the forest there, and indeed he does. So for Llewelin of Agartha, we also have a bunch of Celtic Warriors. We have 5 heavy horse. We have some axemen thrown in there, Axe Warriors, and then we have the Oathsworn. The general is probably an Oathsworn. The general for Armenian King is Commander General. Well, we can't really see the general of Llewelin yet, but I assume that he is a strategist general. The reason Armenian King picked the Commander General in this case is probably because he has a lot of low morale units, like the Gallo-Thracians, 50 morale, the Thracian Warriors, 45, the Celtic Warriors 45 and the Levy Freeman at 30, so he probably needs a few boosts to keep his men in the fight, especially if rear charges and cavalry charges start happening. So Armenian King kind of has to stick to the forest, and knowing Llewelin, he has probably planned for this exact scenario where the opponent hugs the forest, but there are openings on both sides to move around and get into the rear and flanks of the enemy. Because Llewelin picked the map, Llewelin picked the first faction. I believe that's how it went. Correct me if I'm wrong. So a bit of skirmishing in the early game, not using too much ammunition here, which is a good idea. Llewelin is doing a good job in screening his raiding horse with Celtic Warriors, which is probably a sign that he didn't bring Levy Freemen, since he's using Celtic Warriors to screen. And to be honest, that is a good idea, because against Tylis, you know that there won't be a mid-tier cavalry threat. So, knowing that Tylis is going to bring its Levy Freemen, if you just bring Celtic Warriors, you're going to be able to take away a lot of enemy troops, basically for nothing. And when you take away, like over here, if this charge hits, these Levy Freemen are going to go down very quickly. It's very smart keeping cavalry and infantry close together like this, because here comes the heavy horse charge into the back of these Thracian warriors. The Thracian warriors turn around, and they are super deadly against the heavy horse. They got 4, 5, 6 kills, 7 kills just on that one charge. So not a good exchange for the heavy horse at all. But here the engagement starts getting a bit messy for the Armenian King. He gets his Levy Freemen countercharged. He gets his Thracian warriors countercharged. These Thracian warriors are jogging after the heavy horse, but they're going to get attacked in the rear by Celtic warriors, which is a horrible time for Thracian warriors. They are deadly on the charge, but they're just getting smashed by both sides here. And due to them not having any melee defense and very low armor, they're going to get absolutely wrecked here. Thracian warriors running after the Celtic warriors they just destroyed. Now they're up against the Oathsworn, and the Oathsworn are going to destroy the Thracian warriors very quickly. In the center, it's sort of a clusterfuck of an engagement. The Oathsworn are jogging in, but it's just so hard to micro in these forests. The Oathsworn did not get a charge here. These Oathsworn are not going to get charges. So in this case, we have 2 Oathsworn units that weren't able to get charges, and that is potentially massive for a barbarian faction that lives and dies by its charges. So Llewelin is able to do what he wants here. He's able to engage piecemeal, pick apart the numerical superiority of Armenian King, and he's doing so very well, using his Celtic warriors to screen away the raiding horse. And now the rear of Armenian King is open to Llewelin. Llewelin is doing a very smart thing here with engaging in the center and then just keeping the flank defended, so he can engage the numerical superiority of Armenian King piece by piece. He can do it when he feels like it. Just charging in some Oathsworn here against the Celtic warriors. The Celtic warriors are going to die, but there is Oathsworn support here. It's very smartly done by Llewelin. He's going to buy himself significant amounts of time. Here we have heavy horse moving around the flanks. Celtic warriors getting into Levy Freemen. The Levy Freemen are going to get destroyed. Thracian warriors charging in. Going to do a lot of damage on the charge in this mixed melee. But overall things are not looking great for Armenian King in these engagements. His raiding horsemen got charged in the forest. There's a lot of heavy horse running about in the back lines, getting very nice kills. And on the flanks, he's not doing that great either, because the Thracian warriors are going to get attacked in the rear. They're just going to break. And the same story over here. The Thracian warriors are doing okay, I guess, but they're actually doing very well against the Axe warriors. But these heavy horse units and these Axe warriors moving in from the side, they're just going to do so much damage to the Thracian warriors. Now most of Armenian King's units are engaged. He has these raiding horsemen running around the flanks, but they're not really able to do much. They might be able to do some damage to the heavy horse, but not really that much. So looks like Llewelin was able to outplay Armenian King in this case, because if we take a quick inventory of what's left for the two players, Llewelin still has quite a few unengaged units that are moving into threatening positions and getting rear charges, while the entire force of Armenian King is engaged, and he needs to go for rear charges with these raiding horsemen, but they're of course not as good at that as the heavy horse. So the raiding horsemen in the forest going down, Levy Freemen are going to get wasted. What I think we saw here was mainly two things. One, that Llewelin picked his engagement, so he engaged on his left flank while just denying the right flank. So he was able to engage where he was the strongest and delay the amount of time and prevent himself from being able to be outflanked. At the same time that he did this, he did flank on the side that he was the strongest on. He was able to send in his cavalry, he was able to deal with the anti-cavalry support of Tylis very easily and very effectively. So Armenian King's Levy Freemen were destroyed, didn't do much against the heavy horse, and when that happens against Tylis, they are going to die to repeated cycle charges, rear charges, even though they have a vast superiority in terms of numbers, because though the Tylis are great on the charge, they do not have the morale to stand up to prolonged engagements where they are losing and where they are being attacked in the rear. So very nicely done here by Llewelin of Agartha. He's up 1-0 against the Armenian King. And if we look at the kills here, you can see just how important the heavy horse are. They were supporting the Celtic warriors. The Oathsworn did very well for the Boii. And what Llewelin did here with his build was Llewelin went pure melee rush, while he probably knew that Tylis would have to go with some of these anti-cavalry units, and them going for the anti-cavalry units meant that he was going to be able to take them off the field with Celtic warriors. So very nicely done here by Llewelin of Agartha. He did some very nice moves, and if Armenian King was to counter those moves, then he would have had to move sort of out of the forest or contract his formation significantly, which would have meant that the Boii could have surrounded them easily. But if we just look at the infantry, just look at the melee infantry, Tylis has a significant advantage in melee infantry. We have 4 elite swords, 2 mid-tier swords, 3 low-tier swords. For the Boii, we have 3 elite swords, we have 5 axe warriors, then we have 5 Celtic warriors. So in a straight up engagement, the 4 Oathsworn, 2 Gallo-Thracians, 2 Thracian warriors and 3 Celtics should beat these units any day of the week. But when you start throwing the heavy horse into the mix, things start to change a lot, so ban heavy horse. Well played to both players, strength and honor, and we'll have another game by these two great players.